And I'm a person, like when I'm speaking, like I do lots of speeches for the community and for the spa industry. When I'm speaking, my main goal is to inspire you. So I hope that I've done a good speech when you leave and you want to do the things that I've done, or you want to get up and try something new. So I want to inspire people to write. You know what I mean? I want, like, as I said, with this group of women, we need to talk about the issues. We don't need to be bottled up and create our own health issues, because when you don't speak about the issues, you cause dysfunction in your body.
So, what motivated you to really put this, or the idea? What's behind the idea? Like I know you said before, to like a lot of people don't know how to pray and stuff like that. Have you had your personal experience? And I know you have your piece inside of here, but I just want you to share your personal experience behind the motivation that really the idea, like, yeah, I should really share this with people because this works for me.
Well, as I said before, I was going to write my own book, and I connected with the publisher. He told me he's going to produce the first book, and that book didn't end up being the first book. But in the pursuit of all of that, I wanted a deeper relationship with God. So I had the mission to read my Bible in a year, which I'm completing this year. I didn't complete it in the first year, but I had that mission. I wanted to not just read the Bible, but I wanted to study the Bible. I wanted to understand what I was reading. I wanted to be able to teach someone else, give Bible studies. So this was kind of my journey. So I was changing, I was developing, I was growing. I'm not even sure if anybody saw it or any of that. But as I said, this was God. Like, the book was going to happen. The title ended up changing. The group started, and voila. I wish I had more of an interesting story, but it's really just that.
Oh no, this is phenomenal. Like, we usually don't find this. Like, you could have gone anywhere in developing something else, because you give us a rundown of your titles, because it's really, for me to say it, just give us a rundown of the different titles or the different avenues you could have gone instead of writing a book about prayer, because you're a massage therapist, you're dynamic speaker, you're empower women. You give us the rundown of a list of your resume there. So
well, in terms of books that are out right now, as we mentioned, this is the first one, I Pray on Purpose Because, and this is the one that is about prayer. It's used as a devotional. So, like in the morning, maybe you don't have time to study. I hope you do, but if you don't, at least there's a Bible text for each day. There's a reading from each of the writers. So, and they're short. They're not like, it's not going to take you 15 minutes. So there is absolutely no excuse to say that you don't connect with God in the morning or in the evening, however you decide to do it. And really and truly, reading is not enough. You still have to pray. So we're hoping that as a devotional, you get to use that short read and then connect with God through prayer. Again, most of these, there's a few testimonies, but most of them are prayers. So you pray along with the book, and then you could even say a personal prayer, because we have so many things going on in our life. And even the fact that you just woke up in the morning, you should be grateful, because he's the giver of life. So he could have chosen to, not wake you up. So he's very merciful. And for me, again, everybody has their own beliefs, but every morning I am so thankful for that. And then this summer, I decided to join a group of women who were writing a book on joy. And as I went through the COVID, I chose to be happy. I chose to be grateful. And I was so happy to find this group online. And they were looking for 90 authors because they wanted to write a 90-day devotional journal. So I joined in that group project, and I became, in July, this book is called Finding Joy in the Journey, Volume 2. And this book went to bestseller. So I became in July a best-selling author. And this book is phenomenal. And there's 90 authors, as I said. It's a devotional, and it has an audiobook. So if you need an audiobook that you just want to get so much joy out of, this one is phenomenal. I love both these books. And this one, I forgot to mention, it's written by women, for women, but I'm telling you, that was the intention, but men are loving it too. Like, you read it. So just because the intention was there, men love it, they give it to their wives, but it's just, it concerns why it was written by women, for women. It concerns a lot of the topics that women pray for. And if you look at our churches, the churches traditionally are filled with women, and these are subjects that maybe they don't discuss as much. So this gives a speaking topic, and you can like form a women's group and go through the pages together. So it just gives so many different ideas. Like, my group is called Empowered Women. That's my group. And that's my group of women, my tribe of women, women that come together and we discuss the issues, because we need to pray for our children, and we need to pray for, our husbands, and we need to pray for our parents who are turning elderly. So you would love that tribe of empowered women, successful women, and people who are just really getting connected with God. And that's what this is about. And it's even tied into a scholarship. So every dollar that you spend, when you spend money on this book, so a part of the proceeds go to the Empowered Women Scholarship, which helps a young lady with post-secondary education. So basically, they are being helped with anything that's CEGEP or university or even trade school related. So anything after high school, there's a scholarship for that.
Okay, I'll touch you back on the scholarship later on.
Okay, perfect.
I have to agree with you that this book is very, very easy to read. I'm not the real avid reader who's going to sit down and read, but it makes it interesting because the story changes after a good story, like one story after another, and it's not long and worn out. So it's really easy to read, and it's a devotional type of material that you will really enjoy. As a man, I enjoyed it because everyone has a story for a story, and your story can empower me as a man to make a progress in or a decision in whatever I'm doing. You mentioned you got together with a group of people to write the second book and this one as well. Tell us, for those of us who don't know what's the term, what term it's called, and what the name, because I remember you told me the name, but
Well, based on this book was supposed to be only prayers. And then some people submitted some testimonies. So that gave me the idea to make the sequel to this book just testimonies. And let me tell you, it's called I Testify on Purpose Because. And the testimonies, they're so powerful. Like, this one is like, I got excited when I was getting the submissions. And this one, I opened the floor. It wasn't just for women, by women. I have males, I have females, I have children, I have people who are young adults writing. I have people from Canada, the US, the Caribbean, and even Africa. So I covered a wider audience, and I'm telling you, I was so blessed as they were coming in and reading them. So I Testify on Purpose Because it's in pre-release now. So that means we are selling it, but it is coming out this fall. So get your copy early, reserve it, because it is something else. It is really something else. It's really hot.
Are we going to see a sequel for us men who can give our testimonies? Because it will get it all in the family now. Like,
so a men only book? That's what you're saying?
It would be good to have a book. It would be good to have a sequel where men can tell their stories, because we have those challenges. I know it's hard to be a woman, but it's just as hard to be a man. So I'm looking forward for you to come out on that project with the men's version, that you women can feel, some of our stress, because men don't talk, right?
You're giving me a very good idea. So as I said, I always follow the Holy Spirit. So if we could come up with a title, I think we could do it. I'm also doing a book in French. So there's going to be a book in French released next year. So some of the French speaking audience, I have something for you. Please get in touch with me and I'll give you the details to that one.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to encourage everyone to go out and get this book. I know you at the end of the program, we're going to let you tell folks how they can get this book, but you can also just mention it briefly.
Well, definitely it's on my website. So my name is spelt on the screen there. So it's www.alvinaryan.com, ALVINARYAN.com. And if you put /store, it's going to go straight to my store.
Good afternoon and welcome to Vincy Internet Radio once again. You had a book signing, I think it was last Saturday. What are some of the positive that you took away from that signing ceremony?
So the book signing was actually like last Sunday. It was phenomenal. I'm going to be posting more pictures soon on my site, on my Facebook. But what did I take away? Well, first of all, I was so thankful and grateful that people even showed up, because you never know when you have a vision and, people respond, some people don't respond. You weren't sure exactly how many people were going to come, but I realized I have phenomenal tribe, phenomenal friends, phenomenal family, and a lot of people came out to support me, even was just to say hello. Some people bought t-shirts, because I have t-shirts, I have bags, I have books, I have journals. So, they supported in different ways. And even just to take a picture, that was one of my takeaways, that, people care. And, it's COVID, we took the COVID measures, but people really care. People are interested in the products. So it's not all in my head. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing.
But another thing, did that signing book give you any idea for any new ideas that you might want to produce another book in the future?
I'm definitely producing more books. Actually, this year, 2021, 3 books should be out, 2 of which are pretty much out. But 3 books total will be released in 2021. I'm working on 2 releasing in 2022 at least. But I'm a writer, so writers write. So it's not a one and done. Like, it's not a one-hit wonder. You continually produce. There's always material that people are concerned with. I have different parts of my life. Like, I would love to write a massage therapy book and explain my successes there. So there's different things that I can do, but I'm definitely going to be writing. Book signing, yes, I think I will definitely have a book signing again. I think also I will have it in a way that I introduce the co-authors so that they can also participate in a book signing. I have an online group right now. This might be good for your viewers in Vincy or other parts in the Caribbean or anywhere. I have an online group to help people to become writers. So maybe that's something people didn't know about me. A lot of people want to write. They don't know how to write. I'm a writing coach. So at the beginning, when you want to go to a publisher, they look at several factors. And, it's up to them if they decide to take your book or not. But sometimes it's not up to par. Sometimes you need help with the writing portion. So I'm that person. You can help, you can submit your book to me. I could evaluate it. I can help you with that. Or you could do the 3-month course and write a book. So it's 3 months to writing the finished project, and you're going to get habits and clarity and different stuff along the way that you need to be a successful writer.
You have a very long resume. You want to take us a bit into your massage area of your resume?
Oh, okay. Well, I've been practicing massage for 30 years. I know I shouldn't have said that, but I did. I have. So I've been practicing massage therapy. I actually have a bachelor's degree in athletic therapy, which is a bachelor's at Concordia University. And it's an honors program. So the main specialty is exercise science, and then you do honors in athletic therapy. And from that, I went to work for the Montreal Alouettes for 15 years. And I was working at a school. And for 10 years, I was a senior teacher at the school. And the last 5 years, I became the director of the school. And this is a massage therapy school. And my role was really pedagogy, doing programs. I ran a headhunting service, which helped the students find work. It was called the Carrefour. And I really kind of helped with the market in massage therapy. A lot of the massage therapists at the time were not getting paid well. So then I kind of like helped change that market, making sure that they got paid equitably for their services per hour. So that was like my big part of my career at the beginning, working with the professional team. As I said, I worked for the Alouettes for 15 years. And I also ran my own clinic. So like working in professional sports is about a 6-month gig. And then I also had for the rest of the year, my private clinic running for Mr. and Mrs. Everybody. So it was a very good run. I also became a director of spa later on in my career, the MAA spa that's downtown on Peel. It's a very elite spa. So I was the director of a spa there. And then my whole life kind of changed in the between, but for the most part, that was my massage practice. And today I still practice massage. I still do home massages, and I still have a clinic. So if people are interested in that kind of aspect, really rehab, getting results from massage therapy as well, this is something that I do.
You work with professional sports team, which is something I'm just going to ask you about it. Now, how do you cope with professional athletes? Because it's a long way to really recovery when a professional athlete get injured. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, because of my background in athletic therapy, we would do some tests to make sure we know which muscle, which ligament is the injured. So we don't just go straight into a massage. We have to do an evaluation, make sure we know where we're going. And then we kind of like paint a picture or put a pattern together where we want to go with the rehab. So they're professional athletes. They can't like stay 6 weeks on a bench. So if it's a 6-week protocol, we try to move it down to 3 weeks because we have to get them up and ready faster. And since you know which muscle is involved, you do specific protocols for that. And then they go home with a treatment as well, like whether they have to exercise themselves or they have to ice themselves or, different things or stretch. So it's a team effort. I do a part, but they also have to continue to do their part. With athletes, it was easy because athletes, you tell them their homework and they do it because, again, they're getting paid to work. It doesn't always work the same with people, like say in your personal clinic. You might tell them to do a stretch and they might do it, they might not. So my favorite clientele to work with are athletes because they always are interested. They're always going to do what you say. So that's important.
That was going to be my next question on the personal level, because I'm going to give you a little experience with me and then with someone else I had to encourage to do it. I met someone who had, a minor stroke, and he told me that he stopped going to the clinic while I encouraged him to go because what he was saying, he didn't see any result yesterday. I said, sometimes these things take years before you can see result. What they are trying to do is trying to get some motivation or some reactive your muscles. But he didn't realize that. He want to see it today. So my things for you is that when a client comes into your private practice, what are some of the advice that you give them to go home with and to make sure that they do that and make sure that they do? Results is not yesterday or today. Results can be a long way to go. How do you get that message across?
Well, my favorite analogy for myself is that I'm a bridge. So the thing is, I help you get from point A to point B. And it's because you cannot do it yourself, maybe because you don't have the knowledge or the skill. So at first, when you come in, I do a full evaluation, I do a full assessment, and then I go into the treatment, which is the massage. And from then, like whatever you told me at the beginning, which was your observations of yourself, then I put my notes together with what I actually saw in your body. And I educate my clients at the end of the session to let them know what I saw. And I verify it with what they say. So if I saw something in your shoulder blade, I'd say, do you remember when I was doing the left side and you said, ouch? And then, do you remember when I said that? And then they would say, yes. And I'd say, there was a tension area. So this is a stretch that I'm gonna give you to help you with that. However, if you don't do the stretch, that's totally up to you. But it's hard to get better if you don't participate in your own treatment program. So I'm helping you. I'm going to advance the cause. You might come 3-4 times at the beginning, and then we will space it out because you're also going to be participating in doing the stretches and the exercise. You have to drink lots of water. And I always explain why. So I'm not afraid to take out a book or point on a chart and let you know what I'm talking about, where it is. You should be able to explain it to someone else. Like a lot of times people come out of the doctor and they say, oh, I had this, but they don't know how to explain it again. So if you go to different professionals, everybody's starting over, but I make sure that they understand what it is. I sometimes even write it down. Like if they said I was going to physio and coming to me, I write it down and I say, this muscle's tight, that muscle's tight, this muscle, give that to your physio. So nobody has to start over. I helped, then someone else will help, and that keeps building on the treatments that they're going to receive. But you're in charge of your own health. Everybody else is just helping. We're just a bridge. There's going to come a point where you're going to be okay. You should never be dependent on me. You should never have to call me 11 o'clock and say, I need you. You might want my help, but you don't need me. You should be able to figure out what you could do to temporarily calm it down. And I teach my clients these things.
How do you get that message across to some of your clients who believe that every time they have a pain, it should be something medication, pain medication? How do you get that across to them?
Well, I explain to them that, again, pain is a symptom. And you don't want to treat the symptom because it's just going to mask, it's going to help you in the present, but it's not a cure. So we need to get to the base, the cure, the problem. We need to find out what's causing the pain. And that's the only way to heal. And if you want to soothe it, like sometimes it's unbearable. If it's a last resort, take the painkiller. I can't tell you not to take it. Last resort, like you said in your case, that should be the painkiller. But if you numb where the pain is coming from, it's hard to solve why the pain is coming on, how long it's lasting. So these are questions that the therapist needs to know. We need to also know if it's dull pain or sharp pain. Again, I explain everything. Your question was, how do you get to the clients to know this stuff about pain? I explain everything to them and I explain the importance. But after that, ultimately, it's their decision. When you have information, it's power. And whether you choose to listen to it or choose not to listen to it, that's all in your hands. But it doesn't work to your advantage. Any action has a consequence. So if you choose not to listen and you mask your pain all the time and you get addicted to the pain medication, then you're going to have something else coming down the line. So it would be best to prevent taking all of this stuff and to take it only as needed. That would be my answer.
Let me try to marry that into the book. So you're 15 years with the Always, right?
15 years, yes.
Right. So that's a male-dominated field. It's a male, dominantly male in that environment. How did you come from the male-dominated environment to writing or putting together a book about empowering women? How easy was it, or how difficult was it for the transition?
Very interesting question. I I I love working with my favorite clientele. As I said before, if my niche market is athletes, I ended up with male athletes in this case, but I've also worked with female teens. I'm a woman, so I can't, sometimes people want you to choose. They want you to choose this or that. I'm kind of greedy. I want both. So I don't think I should choose just a male market or a female market. I did one part of my career concentrating mostly on men and a male dominated boys club, if you want to call it. And then I could, because I'm a woman, I could easily create groups that empower women and talk about women issues and deal with, all of like the intricacies that women need to talk about. And remember, this book came out during COVID. So there was so many issues. We weren't in contact with people. People needed to discuss things. People needed to express themselves. And I'm a person, like when I'm speaking, like I do lots of speeches for the community and for the spa industry. When I'm speaking, my main goal is to inspire you. So I hope that I've done a good speech when you leave and you want to do the things that I've done, or you want to get up and try something new. So I want to inspire people to write. You know what I mean? I want, like, as I said, with this group of women, we need to talk about the issues. We don't need to be bottled up and create our own health issues, because when you don't speak about the issues, you cause dysfunction in your body. And that won't be good either. So I don't want people to keep things in and then cause disease in their body. So they need to speak up. And that's how I empower women. And I kind of merge the two in that sense, because otherwise they're going to create dysfunction, and then they're going to be at a therapist, or they're going to be at a doctor, or they're going to be taking medication. So it's better to speak it out and keep everything confidential in terms of the tribe, the group, but have a vehicle for people to express themselves.
Mm-hmm. And if we look at your resume, you might be the perfect candidate to talk to women about empowerment. And we're so happy that we have someone like you in the community, to which I'm a part of. So again, we're proud of the work you're doing. You're also a keynote speaker. You also did work, I think, internationally or overseas. Tell us a little bit about that.
Not overseas yet. I'm saying yet, but I do a lot of Canada, US, yes, sure. And I speak to leaders, business owners, on issues that affect them. So how to run their practices, or, how to keep their personnel, different things like that. So I adapt my speeches to the audience.
You also do finances as well, right?
I do finance. I do finance. I was a financial advisor for over 5 years. So, and when I became a financial advisor, my goal was to empower women. So to make sure that they knew how to take care of their money. A lot of times when I answered calls, people were saying, don't worry. Like I would make a call as a financial advisor trying to reach someone, and they would say, don't worry, my husband handles all the finances, so let me get him. And I'm like, stay on the phone. I want to teach you about your finances, about your insurance, about different things. So that was my goal, to make sure that women knew about their money, what they're entitled to, how much they should have saved. So that was my whole goal. But I teach, anybody. I go to churches, I give speeches there, so if you have a group and you want to, have a discussion in the evening or something like that with different people on a certain subject, just let me know. We talk about it before and I cater it to your audience. So a lot of churches, a lot of community centers, a lot of the Black community I work with as well. So, and as I said, in my industry, in the spa industry, I concentrate a lot of my speeches there as well and travel all across Canada and the US through that.
So if I was to ask you, and I know first and foremost would be God, who do you look up to? Who's your inspiration?
Well, you're right. God is for sure the first, but I do have a lot of mentors. I have a coach. I first learned to speak. I first learned to speak years ago. I went to Harv Eker. I don't know if you remember him. He wrote The Millionaire Mind. And so I went to his trainings, and then I met Les Brown, and I was personally coached by Les Brown and became a speaker. So I don't think he does that anymore. Like, I don't think he takes people under his wing and all that stuff, but I was lucky. I was in those groups where I met him personally, and that is probably my biggest inspiration in my speaking. He's phenomenal. He does super well for himself. He's well grounded. Like, he doesn't like talk to you like he's up here and you're down there. And just listening to his speeches, his cadence, everything like that, I mean, you can still learn. Even though I learned a long time ago, every time you do a speech, you tape it and you improve, you know? And it's obviously easier to speak on things that you are well versed in. But sometimes you speak on other issues because things are changing, right? So if someone wanted me to talk about, you know, something that just came up in the community, I will put that into my signature speech, because each speaker has signature topics. So you speak on certain things all the time, and most people call you about something in that jar, but you know, you adapt it to the audience. You ask a few questions before: how many people, what are they, male, female, target audience, all these things. And then you craft your speech around that. And still, nothing set in stone. You always have to leave some leeway, gauge the audience, make sure that they're following you. So these are all the tricks of a speaker.
I just want to ask you a question that do you think that everyone needs a personal therapist for their problems, or do you think, like you said, you have a coach who is just a regular coach, or maybe just by reading, or and I know, of course, prayer, but do you think it's necessary that everyone has a therapist?
Well, I think your journey is your journey, right? It's personal. So I believe in massage therapy. I think people don't prevent their problems. They only go to see the therapist when they have a problem. And that's actually the wrong approach. So if you could see me when you're totally fine, when you're full of joy and full of gratitude, you'll have the best massage you could ever have, because nothing hurts, right? Maybe I'll find a few things, but that's the best time to receive, right? Because you're open, everything's good. Most people come when you're in dysfunction, so then they have to come. Now, how much they come all depends on the protocol and how fast they want to heal as well. You make your suggestions, but ultimately, again, that's up to them. So do you need to have a therapist, or do you need to have a coach? I don't think you need to have anything. There's a lot of things that you can do on your own, except you might get to that point. Like, suppose your back hurts, right? How easy it is for you to touch your back. And most people, they'll say to their spouse, can you touch my back? Or can you do this? Can you lift a little higher? Whatever. It's not the same. So you can go to someone and say, can you do it? It might feel okay. But if you go to a real specialist, you'll know the difference between your spouse massaging you and someone else professional massaging you. So I think also, because we don't know those differences, we think we don't need things. But if you knew what you were missing, you would go more often. And it also helps that if you have insurance, right? So if you have insurance, you're not feeling the pressure or the financial pressure, because you know your company is going to reimburse most of it. Usually it's 80%. So you can go for that, no problem. Even myself, as a speaker, as a coach, I get coached, because even like, you know, professional athletes, they might be the best in the world, but they have a coach. So again, it depends where you are in your life, where you want to go with it. I want to go far, so I use a coach. even though I'm a coach. And I want to make sure that they give me all of the tricks to accelerate my path, and that they keep me away from the pitfalls so I don't have to make the same mistakes that they have. But you can do it. It might just take you a little bit more time. It depends where you want to be in your life.
Oh, thank you. So tell us about the Eagle Academy Success coaching programs that you have.
So Alvina Ryan Eagles Academy is my success coaching. So you can do either the writing program that I told you about, writing your book in 90 days, or you can also do transformational coaching, success coaching. So we again, free consultation, see where you want to be. And then, as I said before, I'm the type of person that I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to make you accountable. And a lot of people, they just need that, right? They don't have that person that thinks about their future. A lot of people, when you mentioned the question about, do you need a coach? Do you need to do it on your own? A lot of people can only see what they can see, and it's only like right in front of them. They don't see way into the future. They don't see what's to the left of them or to the right of them, as if they have blinders on. But when you come to me and I have like vision, I can see where your potential lies. Sometimes people don't even know where their potential is. They don't know where their gifts are. And I use wisdom, again, inspired wisdom, but I listen to you. And I have the talent of listening because I'm a massage therapist. So when you come to me, I have to listen to where your problems are. So I'm good at listening. But then sometimes I hear things that you didn't even know what you said. So, and then I kind of weave that in, and together we build that vision, we build a plan, and you can be in a different spot in a year from now. Because really and truly, you have to design a little bit of your life, right? It just doesn't come to you. You have to kind of, do a little bit, but again, taking the inspiration of the Holy Spirit or whatever you think of, because you're not all in charge of your life, but you pattern a little few things that you want to do, and that's it.
Yeah, I like what you said, because sometimes in our community, especially, we tend to do things by ourselves. So I like the fact that you said sometimes we see things just here, and that's okay. Like, everyone doesn't have that extended vision. So I like the fact that you said that, because in our community, and that's what you actually did with the book, you just integrated a lot of people into it, so to make it a success faster, or a faster success. So I like that kind of attitude where, we need to come on board and get together sometimes, so that we can extend the vision a little bit further, and nothing is absolutely wrong with that. So, kudos again to the book. And I spoke to you, and you said you have a scholarship foundation. Is it a scholarship foundation?
Yeah. A scholarship fund, yes.
Scholarship fund, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, the first winner is going to happen next week.
Oh.
Next week. So I'm all excited about that. Again, it's the book I Pray on Purpose Because book that is giving an empowered woman scholarship. That's what it's called, Empowered Woman Scholarship. And the first recipient, because this was the year I wrote the book, so the first recipient is receiving next Friday, September 24th. And there's going to be an online ceremony with the WIBCA Association, with them as well. And so I'm so excited that someone is going to be the first recipient of this scholarship to help them with their higher education. So helping her progress with her studies.
And what are the qualifications to be eligible for this scholarship?
Right. So this one, I based it on academics. So 80% average and above. They had to send a transcript that they were accepted into trade school, CEGEP, or university. They had to have letters of recommendation, at least 2. And they had to answer a question on oppression and how they've surmounted that obstacle. So if they've had any difficulties in their life and how they've come against it. So every year I'm going to change the question. So there will be different questions to answer in different years, but the basic qualifications of entrance are the same. And my hopes is, like, if people are watching and they want to donate, that would be great. But my hopes is to create other scholarships, because yes, I did the first one on academics, but there's so many people in need. There might be someone who doesn't have an 80% average and over, but would be well deserving of a scholarship that has lots of potential, which is why I opened it to trade schools as well. But there's so many other things we can do with this type of scholarship, and I would love to expand it. So yeah, if you're interested in all of that, please just get in touch with me and I will tell you all about it.
Well, I hope you'll let us know so that we can, give a shout out to you and the recipient of that. And I'm really impressed with the fact that you're thinking a lot of outside of the box, because a lot of people don't pay attention to people who are going to trade schools. And I always say, like, everyone is not meant for a university, everyone is not meant for a college, everyone is not meant to be a doctor or a nurse or whatever it may be. But trade schools can bring out some of the best in you. Like, sometimes there are people who are academically, they're not there to focus. And it's not that they're not capable, but if you send someone to a trade school, they'll quicker, they're more the hands-on kind of people, right? So again, I really like what you're doing, and I hope myself, when you put out that information, I'll be able to contribute to that, because it's really worthwhile, and we need stuff like that in the community. We need people like you in our community, Alvira, and I can't stress that I'm so proud of what you're doing. And before I pass you on to Cippy, I just want to know what's the next chapter from the book, because you seem to be going on and on to higher heights. What's the next chapter? What should we look out for from Alvina?
Well, you should look for the next book coming out this fall, I Testify on Purpose Because. There's still time to join the writing group, so just reach out to me. We'll do our free consultation and see if you're a good fit. And of course, I told you about the French book coming out next year. So if you are a Francophone and you want to be in a group writing project, please, just hit me up for that. And, if you wanted a speaker at your church or your community and you want to help empower the youth, because I'm a youth leader, or if you want to empower your congregation, anything. I'm very open. I'm down to earth. So just give me a quick call. Thanks.
What legacy would you like to leave?
What legacy? Well, the books is part of my legacy, because when I'm not here, they're always going to be a voice. But I definitely want to be an example. I start with my children. I have two, a teenager and an adult child. And I definitely want to inspire them to do the most that they can, to be motivated to keep going through. And, just the community in general. Like, I just want people to remember me as someone who kept going, kept moving, helped others on the way, never left anybody behind, not a jealous person, never will take your ideas, that kind of stuff. So, the legacy really is in the books, and just to be inspiring, to be known as an inspiring person who helped empower others.
There are people who develop educationally late in life. There are some people, I think some people leave high school, maybe even leave colleges without being qualified, but for somewhere along the line, they become professionals. Are there any space within your organization to accommodate persons like this?
In my organization, can you please define what that means?
Your scholarship area.
In my scholarship, as I said before, I would love to create other branches of the scholarship. So there is room to do other scholarships. And I did think about that this year, but I had to start somewhere. So I started with the 80% and above, but I definitely think that I should make one more general that would encompass more people. And as I said, sometimes people are so deserving. They've had a lot of hardships. No one gives them a break. So I want to find those people. Like, I want to find the person that really needs the help, maybe doesn't have the grades, maybe no one told them that they're good, maybe nobody gave them an inspiring word, and just to see what that person would bloom and develop, that would be, the next one probably that I would create.
Great, because I was thinking along the line, because I knew a lot of people who basically leave high school, some even leave secondary school without any passes, and they become professors. So somewhere along the line, some people are very late learners. As we say, they pick up very late in life. So we also have to cater for those kind of people within our within society. And sometimes society kick these people down to the ground. And when they already get up back, then we say, oh, what a wonderful person he is or she is. Yeah. So we definitely have to look at these people. As you say, sometimes it's just a word. Or sometimes it's just something, that experience that happened to them that make them, as we say, wake up and start to get things going. I think you have a lot to offer for the community, and an interview like this doesn't really do justice to you. So I would like to bring you back, invite a few other people, and then we have what we call a general discussion so that you can get a lot more out of, I can get a lot more out of you, because I think you're a very inspirational person. And I think that our society are missing people like you. So I really want to bring you back what next do you think of, or where do you want to go? Is the sky the limit, or what next on your agenda?
Well, sky's the limit. I have no limitations on my life. You know, God gives me favor and blessings, and you should never think that, you know, put an end to what you can do. So my theme, every year I pick a theme for my life. You know, I had themes like blessing and favor. I had themes like living my best life. This year, 2021, my theme was SOAR, SOAR, which is why it's Eagle Academy. So because eagles soar. So, you know, this is where I'm going. This is, you know, when you say this is my time, that kind of expression, this is the time. This is where the Lord's leading. This is the year of development, of vision, of movement. And I don't think it's slowing down. It's getting busier, and it's going in the right direction. So I wish I could tell you more, but I'll just tell you, just keep thinking about my name. And, you know, when you hear about it, see what I'm doing and join in. Don't just see what I'm doing. Ask to be a participant in it, because I need other people to help this movement. So as I said before, we can build other scholarships. You know, we have to, there's power when the people come together. And a lot of people think that they should do everything on their own. And I don't really believe in that. So there's a lot you can do on your own, but it's always good to know somebody who can help you too. So yeah, join me and let's do it together.
As we always say, two hands are better than one.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to reach out to us. Don't be afraid to reach out to us when you really need something, or you need something to be published, or even you need come on the radio just to give somebody a motivation speech. I'm always here. But I think you have been really doing something real great for this community, and things like this I really want to get involved with, especially that's why I have Vincy Internet Radio. I have my website, although I haven't been doing a lot of work on the website, but I need to, things like you, like what you're doing, going to give me the inspiration now to go and make sure that things are in place, and when people go, they can have something to look for. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid to get onto me, just get onto Moulton.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Just one last
everything.
thing though, Alvina, for your Eagle Academy, we can never get enough of you. Eagle Academy, is it open to both male and female, or just to women?
No, it's open. The first project was just about women, but everything I do from now on is open to everyone. So I just want to give everybody equal opportunity. And again, you know, sometimes we do a consultation. So I get to hear what you want, what your vision is, and then you get to decide if this is something that you want to continue with. And, you know, I could read your manuscript. Some people already wrote something, right? So they want to know, is it good? So I'm going to be that first sounding board. And, you know, I was a financial advisor. I'm a massage therapist. I know how to keep things confidential. A lot of people, like you said, you can't trust. So I'm going to keep everything on the up and up. We're going to sign stuff so you don't have to worry. And if you've never done anything and you want to start fresh, well, then you're going to have the right habits, because I'm going to teach you everything. So you're not going to have to make the mistakes that I did, because I've made a lot of mistakes, but they weren't that bad. So, but you won't have to make them at all. I'm going to tell you what I made as mistakes, and then you just surmount from that and you learn. And I'm going to continue to grow, and I'm going to continue to learn. And if you're in my circle, my tribe, you just benefit, because we're all moving in the same direction. So if anybody out there wants to soar, we have another quarter left in 2021. Soaring is what we do at Eagle Academy. So,
and for the sake of our Caribbean listeners and viewers, you do have that strong Caribbean background. So
yes, yes, for sure.
That's true. I mean, that's it for me, Cippy, Alvina. I just want to say again, thank you for the opportunity to meet you. I remember seeing you on Facebook, and I think I added you as a friend, because I like what you were doing, and that was some time ago. We didn't know each other, and I looked at it, and then when I saw this book, and folks, if in case you're watching, I pray, because it's a must-have. If you're a man, you can read it, and when you read it, you finish reading it, you can pass it on to your spouse or your mother or friend. It's a great gift, by the way. If you want, you can grab some for Christmas, because I'm pretty sure they'll be sold out by then. So you want to start grabbing them right now. I read some of the stories, and I'm telling you, I'm not the kind who sits down and read. I'd prefer to read on my phone. But I actually read some of the stories, and very interesting stories, very fascinating, very empowering for both male and female. But it's just stories from women, and what better way to learn from women? So thank you again for being on Vincy Internet Radio, or extended version of the program. Feel free to come back, and please update us on that scholarship award, so CP can give you a shout out, and let people know that there are good people like you in the community doing good things. Continue to do what you're doing, and I'll be watching you, keeping a close eye on you on Facebook. All right. So once again, thanks a lot for coming on the program.
And I just wanted to say thank you very much to both of you for the invitation to come onto your program, Vincy Internet Radio. I'm giving you props too for, showcasing authors or people in the community and giving us a voice. Thank you so much.
One thing I'm gonna say to you, I definitely wanna make sure that this thing goes on and on. So what you're gonna do for me is send me some information, and anytime you need a jingle, anytime you need something to done, don't be afraid. If you're afraid to reach out to me, as I say, reach out to Moulton. Anytime you need anything, it doesn't have to be any big thing, but I'll give you that props. But whether on the radio, whether to do a jingle, whether to do a shout out to anyone, whether to publish anything for you, or just keep you motivated, because sometimes you need someone to keep you motivated. And anytime you log into Vincy Internet Radio, I'm always on the radio basically on a Sunday from 4 until 10. You can just send me a message and say, well, I'm listening, because sometimes you need that person to reach out to you. Don't be afraid. Vincy Internet Radio is here. And as we know, one Caribbean, doesn't matter where you come from the Caribbean, we are all one. Exactly. So anything I can do to help you, don't be afraid to reach out to me. And once again, I would like to thank you for coming on to our program here on Vincy Internet Radio. It was really inspiring. I really enjoyed the presentation. You seem to be a lively person, know exactly where you want to go, and you're exactly challenging yourself in certain different ways. I've never seen anybody with such a long resume want to go.
If you want to let her tell people how they can connect with her, because she also has a YouTube channel which she didn't tell us about, by the way. So.
Well, you didn't tell us about that, but anyhow, I'll try and send you the I'll download this. This is going to my YouTube channel. What I'll do, I'll download it and send it for you. Or if it's too big of a file, I will tell you how to download it from Facebook so that you can also put it on your YouTube channel. In that case, now I want you to tell people how they can get onto you, how they can reach you, and anything that you want to add before we go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, the best way to reach me again is on my website, www.alvinaryan.com. I also have, as they mentioned, a podcast. It's called Let's Keep It Real, Meet the Authors. So it's on my YouTube channel, so Alvina Ryan. Facebook, same thing, LinkedIn. So all the social media channels is pretty much the same. My Instagram is Alvina_Ryan. So that's the way you can find my Instagram channel. But, I'm very accessible. Facebook Messenger. I'm very happy to talk to anyone. So thank you very much for allowing me to share my platforms and how people can find me. And, thank you for doing what you do.
Once again, thank you for coming on, and don't be afraid, as I said, to reach out to Vincy Internet Radio anytime you need something. We are here. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.